Hi there. So this is an A-level stream mainly. This is with 1 week to go. What you need to be doing this week, what you need to be doing right now to get yourself the A star. Later on, in only about 20 minutes really, I'm going to come back with a GCSE stream. So if you're a GCSE student, you could stick around for this because this advice will be applicable to you guys as well. But I'm going to do a similar thing for GCSE students just basically after this stream. If you're a GCSE student, or if you're an A-level, why not check out some of the suggested videos in the description to this one, things that I think are really, really useful for you to be doing right now. This is what I think you ought to be doing right now to get an A star, and I am going to do one of these a day for this week. So this is 4 things you need to be doing. But today, this is the first one, and we'll jump straight into it with no further ado. Basically, you need to leave no stone unturned. So right now, at the start of this week, you need to plan to make sure you have covered everything. You need to basically go back through the spec, go back through a checklist, go back through whatever you've been using, whatever you're comfortable using, to make sure that you know exactly what you need to be doing and that you are prioritizing which area you need to do. So every day this week, I'm going to have one actionable item you can do right now. So the moment this video stops, here's what I want you to be going and doing. I want you to be going and grabbing yourself out the specification for your exam board, and I want you to go through that for each of your 3 A-levels or 4 A-levels. And I want you to find the bits that you are not sure on, and I want you to work on those. I want you to look out for the differences between those different points as well. And I want you to really be hot on this. I want you to look out for memory items. Things where it says you need to recall this, you need to be able to state this, you need to be able to just identify this, all those kind of basic ideas. For example, in Edexcel spec, they have an italicized list of words that you need to know a definition for. You need to make sure you know exactly the definition that they give in the syllabus, in the textbooks, exactly word for word, and then you need to go ahead and you need to revise those and learn those. So this today, I want you to go away and I want you to make sure that you know that there is nothing in that specification that you are like, what? What on earth does that mean? Or that you feel if they ask you questions on that, that you couldn't provide answers to that. There should be nothing that you're like, wow, that is frightening to me. And pay close attention to the way the specification is worded, because that's a clue as to what they're going to ask you to do. So they're very careful to say we could test them on this, we could test them on this, but the way we're going to test them on that is by asking them to do blah, blah, blah. So for example, they might say qualitatively, and that means that you don't have to do calculations, or they might say that specific knowledge of this part is required, or is specific knowledge of this is not required. This type of equation is required, and this one is not required. They're required to be able to derive this, but they're just required to be able to recall this. That is the type of question they're going to be asking. They're not going to just come up with something out of the blue. They're going to be asking you to state the meaning of this, if it says recall this. Okay, that's your first thing to do right now. Do this for each of your A-levels tonight, and then tomorrow I'll have something else for you to think about, for you to do as you go forward. Now, incidentally, if there's any kind of questions, then you're very welcome to ask, and I'll look at them just towards the end. But it's been great. I hope it's been useful to you. I want to give you a bit of motivation as well, because there is still time to be working. This is kind of now 1 week before exams. And so what I'm going to suggest you do is you also go ahead and look at your exam timetable and you split it in 2. This is your 1 week to prepare for the first 2 weeks. Then you've got half term, and you're going to do the exact same things that worked this week for you to get ready for the second week during that half term. So you've basically got this week to prepare for the first half of your exam period, and then you've got that May half term week to prepare for the second half term. So if it's too much to do the entire specification this time, then just think about doing this, going through and checklisting with the specification, with this really good quality checklist that say exactly what you need to do and how you're going to be tested to, for that first week of exams. That first half of the exam period, make sure you know exactly where your areas are to focus on for the first half of the exam period. I hope that works. That's the first of the 4 things that you're going to need to do to get yourself the A star. That is leave no stone unturned. And right now you need to be making sure that is the case for you. There is still time to do that. You find every single part of the specification that you find difficult and you know that you're going to struggle with and you know you need to work on, and then you go and work on it. Right, I'll have a quick look at the chat. I know there's one thing before I arrived, which was about past papers. And if you're GCSE, I'll be back in a little while, or if you feel like you've got a question for me that you want to ask in a little while, I'll be back in about just about 5 minutes for the GCSE section. Should I repeat new papers or do the old ones instead? I do the old ones, but I might go back and I might make sure I'm really happy with the structure of the type of question, because it won't be too dissimilar. The structure of the new exams, they won't be so dissimilar to the last sort of 3 or 4 exams that have been in terms of the structure and the type of questions. I'm thinking especially of the graph type questions in Edexcel, those types of things. The type of question referred to the new exams and make sure you're happy with them, but practice using the old ones for sure. Why is there a half term in the middle exam? It's just when it falls, but I think we always kind of plan the exam period around that half term, just to take the kind of pressure off, really. Help everybody? No, you're not allowed to feel like that. You have to feel good, because actually there is time. This is 4 things that you can be doing right now. Okay, go ahead, plonk this video off now and go ahead and find the specification, go through it line by line, just, you know, do a little rag rating, do a little smiley face, do a little whatever, do a little exclamation mark next to the ones that you need to know you've got work to do, okay? And then go start firing those things and making sure you know those, okay? Do that for each of your 3 or 4 A-levels, and then I'll be back for something else that you can do about those, something that you can do right now, something actionable. I'll be back each night this week, what you need to be doing right now to make sure you get that A star. Okay, this is your 1 week prep time. Think about all the little things. This week, you're going to get yourself exam ready. You're going to get yourself in the mood. You're going to get yourself ready. You're going to make sure you've got the little things sorted, like your pencil case. It sounds silly. Your routine. So you're not going to be staying up late this week. Okay, you're going to be going to bed proper time, and you're going to be getting up ready for, you know, being ready to work at 9 o'clock at your desk, revising at 9 o'clock, because that's the time that, boom, those exams are going to start on the morning ones. And, you know, think about things like this. What do you want to be looking at on the morning of the exams? It's not looking at the whole textbook again, is it? It's those little bits that you know you need to get into your memory banks ready to go. So this is it. Leave no stone unturned. Look through the specification and look out specifically for the memorization items. Think about how you are going to memorize the most important thing. So do this now. Go find the specification and do yourself a checklist through that, making sure you're clear exactly which bits you need to work on. You have not got time to work on the whole thing, so it is time